back. You are watching Straight Talk. I am Donna Policar.
And I'm Manny Angeles.
And we're with the Chief PIO of the Philippine National Police.
General Ildebrandi Usana. We were cut off by that technical glitch, but we'll try to recover from there. Donna, you had the last question to the General.
Yeah, sir. Going back to my previous question, sir, about the reportedly intelligence breakdown. There was no intelligence appreciation daw po with regards to the Datupiang incident. Sir, your comment, please.
Ma'am, insofar as the report coming from the PNP Board of Inquiry, this was actually shared by the chairman himself, the Director for Investigation and Detective Management, Police Brigadier Major General Marnie Marcos, stating among others that there was a lapse in intelligence sharing or information as regards the possible attacks that may have been committed by the BIFF members. Well, from our point of view, insofar as intelligence is concerned, it is something that is on real time. And in that case, the Chief of Police was able to capture this information from his own source, and we give it to him. But as far as what the chairman was saying, that intelligence lapse may have been committed, is an offshoot of the interoperability elements found between the AFP and the Philippine National Police. But it's good enough when the Chief of Police was able to find that indeed the attack would probably happen anytime soon. He already had herded the local populace to the municipal hall. Mataas-taas po kasi yung municipal hall kumpara doon sa area of engagement. That resulted in no casualty at all, the part of both the government and the people they protect in that particular area. So I should say that it's not actually absolutely a lapse in intelligence gathering. Okay. It's more of the sharing of information that should have happened between the AFP and the PNP. But of course, this is negligible. At the end of the day, what happened in Datupiang would be a lesson learned insofar as making our police forces get stronger in terms of deployment of their troops. We have to establish further collaboration with the armed forces in the area. And maybe we are appreciative of the fact that the Chief of Police himself was able to engage themselves with the enemies, despite the outnumbered police officers during that time. And good enough that the reinforcement was there even prior to the actual increase from the enemy side. And they actually fled to the unknown direction when they learned that the reinforcement were already there.
Okay, sir. How is your relationship with the armed forces of the Philippines? Months back, may issue tayo about the Sulu shootout. So, how are you dealing with the AFP right now?
Well, the AFP has its own way of finding truth. We also have our own way, but at the end of the day, if there is a necessity for us to file an action, then so be it. Right now, an administrative case has already been filed by the concerned parties, and we have learned that IAS has recommended that these police officers be dismissed, but this will eventually be reviewed by the legal team of the PNP before he either approves or disapproves whatever recommendations from the IAS. But that's how the procedures work. Insofar as criminal action is concerned, I guess this has already been filed in court by the DOJ. So we leave it to the discretion of the court how this is to be disposed of. Okay. As regards the relationship, this has not perhaps affected at all such relationship if the public expects that whether it has severed our relationship
Yes.
with the AFP. We are still working closely with them. There is still the interoperability kind of work across the entire archipelago. And at no time in our lives that we have ably built that kind of relationship. The Chief PNP himself, in fact, did this when he was RD of Pro 7, and they actually reached out to the commanders of the different units in Central Visayas. And I feel it is also our responsibility to work hand in hand with the AFP because of our campaign to put an end to local communist armed conflict.
Okay.
And the president really is satisfied with that kind of relationship between us, between the AFP and the PNP.
Precisely, General. There are criticisms being raised regarding your relationship with the military. No, this can be borne by the Mama Sapano incident, wherein what you're mentioning about interoperability, medyo hindi yata nag-function dun sa Mama Sapano, resulting in the death of several of our
44
cops. No, so diretsampo tayo. May rift po ba ang military at ang police? Since this is a straight talk program, can you tell us, is there really a rift between the military and the police that para magkaroon ng mas magandang relasyon, kailangan siguro mag-usap-usap kayo dyan? Ano po masasabi nyo rito?
If it is a rift that is institutional, I guess there is none at all. On the tactical side, there may have been problems somewhere. But even the best of armed forces around the world also have their problems. Some friendly forces also engage without them knowing it. The other forces that are helping them out. So this is one of the dynamics in any kind of relationship. But insofar as the AFP and PNP working together institutionally, there is no rift at all. And I give it to that kind of relationship born out of the interoperability function that the AFP and PNP have established over the years. And you know that since most of our leaders are classmates, most of our leaders have known each other well, this is something that really strengthens that resolve to work together, because the enemies will actually be laughing at us if we feel that we have problems internally. So I don't think there is problem at all. We have no rift
Okay.
with the AFP.
Very clear. Donna, still have some questions?
Sir, siguro last question na
Okay.
natin to. Sir, my question is about the women in the Philippine National Police. Gaano na ba karami ang mga police na mga kababaihan na nasa inyo? Under the Republic Act 8551 or the PNP Reform and Reorganization Act of 1998, meron doon na yung increase the at merong bill ngayon na nakapending yung iangat yung number of recruitment quota for women from 10% to 15%, and for the next 5 years i-increase ito into 20%. Sir, hindi ba discriminatory yung pagtatakda ng quota para sa mga kababaihan na dapat sumali o na gusto magpulis? Dapat wala yung quota, di ba? Parang it should be open to all human beings.
May bala ka pa bang magpulis, Donna?
Hindi naman.
Okay.
Kumbaga dapat walang quota. Sa tingin ko dapat hindi ito nilalagyan ng quota eh. Na kung ako may dedikasyon ako, gusto kong magpulis, pero lilimitahan lang ako. Di ba? It should be sa basihan nito ay yung kapasidad mo, yung kapabilidad mo, hindi ang kasarian. How would you react to that, sir?
The wisdom of the law of placing at least 10%. Originally, this was
10%.
what RA 8505 was invoking, which is the reorganization of the Philippine National Police, that says at least 10% of the entire police personnel must be police women.
Mm-hmm.
If the law did not place this particular equity for police women, then the likelihood is baka wala pa akong mga police women na ma-assign or ma-recruit. Why? Over time, nakita na rin ho natin yung evolution ng ating organization that engages the services of our police women. And from 10%, this time the law or the legislation wanted that it be increased to 15% and maybe 20% afterwards. We are now geared towards that direction where women are now being recognized as partners of men in the law enforcement institution. But it's something also that is done in a somewhat evolving way of really recognizing the role of women to perform duties that used to be carried out by only men in uniform. What is the implication of maybe putting an equity? Because around the world, you can check yourself, ma'am, that no law enforcement institution has that 50-50 kind of arrangement. It still boils down to qualifications.
Mm-hmm.
And when you speak of qualifications, you have to come to terms with what the organization is looking for. Maybe in some units of the Philippine National Police, say for example, crime laboratory, there is a balance between men and women. In health service, there is also a balance there. You do not have to perhaps fix 10% or 15%. You can even have 50% if necessary. That is dependent on the qualifications of those personnel, whether women and men performing their duties. Now, the entirety suggests that we need more men, but that doesn't mean we will not recruit more women. We need more women in some aspects of the work. Because if you are to ask them as well whether these police women will be performing their duties, they themselves could not yet ascertain whether they could perform their duties towards the attainment of the mission of the Philippine National Police. So that's how it goes. We are now yet into an equitable way of recognizing women. That's why there is an increase in their quota. But that doesn't mean we have to meet right away the 50-50%.
Okay.
We hope we could do that, but it will have to take some time eventually.
Okay, sir. How about the LGBT, sir?
We have been accepting anyone, no distinction, no discrimination at all. We can even say that we have a group of LGBT people inside the Philippine National Police that really are open, that they themselves claim that they are gay, they are, we really are the kind of institution that accept anyone who may be of help to the institution. The only thing that really have to matter, of course, is in the performance of their duties, they do not have to invoke their being gay, their being lesbian and all. What matters, of course, is to be able to translate their services into something fruitful for the benefit of the organization and for the best interest of our people.
So you're talking about the these LGBT are ito yung mga naka-uniforme ba to or mga non-uniform personnel to?
Uniformado po sila, ma'am.
Uniformado po. Okay.
And you can even find one in Quezon City, ma'am. Well, he was a graduate of Philippine National Police Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, he was already feeling like he really is a gay. Mm-hmm. And of course, when he finished his course at the academy, he was there performing his duties as a police officer, and at the same time telling everyone that he's gay. Okay. He's being accepted by his colleagues.
Sir, among the leaders of the PNP, meron ba na nagladlad na or gustong magladlad?
None that I know of yet, ma'am. Kasi, as far as our senior officials are concerned, I haven't heard of anyone really saying that finally he had to leave the closet and say
Mm.
to everyone that he's gay. Wala pa naman po, ma'am.
Wala pa,
Oh,
okay.
that
Pero
was okay. Sige, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
sige, pero sir, ini-encourage niyo na magladlad kung sino man meron.
Yung encouragement is subjective, ma'am. We'd rather leave this to the discretion of the person
Okay.
concerned.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh, that
Sir
was a very enlightening discussion we had with you, General. Now, can we have a parting word from you, especially with regard to the health and safety protocols that the public would have to bear this coming Christmas season? I understand may mga pasaway talaga na gusto pa rin mag-party-party. So, we'd like to ask your parting question.
Parting
Parting
word.
General.
Thank you, sir. Well, of course, anytime soon we're gonna have the Misa di Gallo for those Catholic faithful, and we hope that we still be able to communicate well the idea of minimum health standards being imposed by the government. And we have seen a number of infections among our people, and the police being used as an instrument to ensure that as far as minimum health standards are concerned, these really are being followed. In fact, to the extent that our police officers being required to carry their truncheons, this is not something that is aimed at creating fear as well to our people. But what really matters is the self-discipline, no less than the president himself telling everyone, this is one sacrifice that we need to do for this year, for Christmas time. We do not have to really celebrate as if it is normal that we do in the past. What really matters, we really have to care about the members of our families. We have to be careful as well dealing with everyone. Before you know it, the one that you are dealing with is a carrier of the virus. And let us not make things difficult for the government authorities to carry out their functions, especially the frontliners. They really have been doing their level best to ensure that the minimum health standards are being followed. It's not easy, but still there will be no let up in carrying out these functions. Thank you, sir.
And so with that, we bring to a close today's episode of Straight Talk. Be with us again next time when we have another guest. Donna?
Yes. Next time, we will see you next time. And
Thank you for gracing us today, General.
Thank you, sir. Our pleasure, sir. Gandang umaga po.
Good morning.
good morning.
This is a very important story. The important story.
Pictures and stories.
Today, we feel the weight of history on our shoulders. The way we have been moving leads nowhere. We need to change course.
Since the United Nations was founded, the human race has never had to face a set of challenges like we do right now. But together, we can overcome them.
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Bakit kailangan ko pang pumunta sa bangko?
Oo nga naman, sir. Ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank. Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of first.
Click, click, that's it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap. It's a wrap, just tap the app. Now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the Ring Ring apps or the in thing, you know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use, mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now.
Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Mga bayarin sa bahay.
Kahit kami, nagtaka sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mangambang maputulan. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi to para hindi na maguluhan.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May, nagka-actual reading, ibabawas dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 3 buwang konsumo.
Kung estimated reading sa May at June nagka-actual reading, ibabawas din dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran. Hanggang 4 na buwang konsumo, walang labis. Tandaan, kung ano lang na konsumo,
yun lang ang babayaran.
ako po si Mateo G.
At ako naman po si Sarah G.
G?
G!
Oh, akala ko mababayaran mo yung amilya sa City Hall.
Tapos na po.
Eh, yung marriage certificate, birth certificate.
Tapos na po.
Eh, di ba? Mag-a-apply ka pa ng business permit.
Tapos na po. 10 seconds lang po yun.
10 seconds?
May paspas permit sa Valenzuela. Online permit system. Wala nang hintay-hintay.
Eh, yung pinapalaba ko sa'yo.
Di pa po tapos?
Dito sa amin, dignidad ng bawat Valenzuelano ang aming inuuna at naniniwala kaming nagsisimula ito sa tahanan. Tinayo namin ang Disiplina Villages, mga micro-communities sa loob ng Valenzuela para sa mga informal settlers at kanilang mga kapamilya. Kumpleto ang mga ito sa basic facilities at utilities ng bawat komunidad. At kahit hindi kalakihan ng mga units, hindi kulang sa pagtutulungan at maayos na pamumuhay ang nakatira dito. Sa fully sustainable housing program namin, hindi lang bahay ang binubuo, kundi buhay. Pagdating sa housing and development, Valenzuela works.